I feel like Google Sheets graphing is a moving target. So what I'm wanting it to look like basically is, let's see, I'll open this up. This is, oops, okay. So I'm hoping that you'll have a kind of a snapshot thumbnail graph that you can keep here that's kind of small. And then when you change stuff, you change this to 20, you can see how things change in this window, but then you've got another graph where you can zoom in and see in great detail what's happening. So here's how to do it. All right, so this may not work for you, and it may not work for me, but it worked for me the last 5 times. That doesn't mean it's going to work again. I'm going to highlight X and Y position and drag all the way to the bottom of those two columns, and then I'm going to insert a chart. But first, let me get rid of this one. This one's bothering me. So insert chart. You don't have to make a chart this way. I made a chart the way I always make charts, and it didn't work. So that's why I'm doing it this way, because this time it worked. So this isn't what I want. It's automatically decided that what I want is, let me go into setup at the top, a column chart. Scatter plot is going to be the one we're going to use later on, but just for a quick one, line is fine. You can do smooth line, you can do line. Line is good enough. So the problem here is there's no x-axis, and there are 2 y-axes. So over here, I'm going to click on the add x-axis and choose x position for this. And then down here in series, these are the 2 things that are plotted, you go along the x-axis and you decide where on the y-axis to plot these. I'm going to get rid of x position, remove that, and then I see what I should see. I'm going to do a few more things, and then I can do all this over again. The first thing I want to do is all this negative range down here isn't usually very useful. So you can either double click on those numbers, or you can go to customize vertical axis, because I want to limit this so we don't have the negative area down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the minimum for the vertical axis at 0. So now I've got a nicer looking graph. And let's see, some titles. Does anybody know under the customize window where I would go for that? Chart and axis titles. And there's this tab here so you can toggle from horizontal axis to vertical axis to title. I'm just going to do an overall title and call it Y position versus X position. And then I'll do my horizontal axis. This is the X position. Sometimes this just automatically pops up as being a line graph, and since I highlighted these, since I selected X position and Y position, these labels over here, it just automatically labels everything, but sometimes it doesn't. So vertical axis is Y position. And meters. All right, so that's kind of good. This is my thumbnail. Now, I'm going to show you the best thing at this point. This is my favorite thing, or at least the thing that people don't really know about. That's here so I can quickly see if I change initial Y position to 10 meters. I can see what that does right here, but I can't see much detail. So I'm going to copy this. I click on it, Control-C, Control-V. Now this other one, this copy of it, I'm going to click the 3 dots and go to Move to Own Sheet. And then down at the bottom, I now have 2 tabs. I've got the original one where I can see a thumbnail, and then I've got this one where I can see a big one. And I want some more precision to this so I can tell exactly what that number is. So people who are savvy, how do I do that? 40, there's 60. How do I figure out, how do I get more lines and numbers in there? Go to Edit Chart, Customize, and that's under Grid Lines and Ticks. And I'm going to do the horizontal axis first. There are 2 ways you control the major spacing. Those are the ones that are numbered. You can do step and count. I might show you how ridiculous count is in a little while, but I'm just going to do step right now. So it's stepping by 20. What do you think would be better? 1? Let's do 1 and see what that looks like. That's a little much. I'm going to go with 5. There, that looks a little bit better. And then I can do minor spacing, and here there are just some grid lines, and I'll do 1 there. So that's good. Now with I'm clicking on vertical axis, I like the major. The minor is, I'm going to change that to 1. So this is a nice graph that I can use to solve some problems. And I'll stop the video. Let me just, yeah, I'll stop the video there.